Christian, you had a very consistent night, probably the best you've looked so far this season, but in your interview on the podium, you didn't seem that happy. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I'm not happy. The past 2 weekends have been, I mean, fifth. I'm not gonna like complain about fifth, but with the off season that I had, and man, I was just so confident coming into this season, and to get fifth, I was pretty bummed. So, I mean, third's good and something to build on, but obviously I want to be where Joey is and winning. So, I mean, I still have a lot to go. I need to make something click here.
Shane, congratulations on the night. In main event 1, got pretty aggressive in that first corner, tried to make a move, and ultimately went down. Was that a case of pushing it too hard or just a simple washout?
Yeah, just a little bit of both. I mean, the 3-race format is ultimately 3 sprints, and it was a lot of fun today, but everybody was also going really fast, so you really had to be aggressive, and I just got a little impatient there, and it cost me.
Joey, congratulations. Tonight, a lot of the topic of conversation was how important the start would be, even more than a normal event. You seem to have that figured out tonight. Just what was it about your starts tonight, being able to click off 3 good ones?
Yeah, we struggled a little bit at the first round with starts. And then last weekend, we got the whole shot in the main event. And obviously we had 3 good starts tonight. So, I mean, obviously coming in, I mean, you want to get a good start every weekend. But when the races are shorter and it's not, 6 minutes plus 1 is normally a heat race for us. And, yeah, it's cool to win the heat race for good gate pick, but it's not the end of the world, like, if you don't, and that's where I think tonight everything had a little bit more weight to it just because it's, number 1, it's new, and number 2, it's shorter than the normal distance. So, those good starts helped us out a lot tonight, and for the most part we had clean air, and that's always helpful.
Brad Gebhardt, Big MX Radio. This is for Shane, but the 2 of you can also chime in if you'd like. Speak to the intensity of a three main event format and just kind of the fatigue factor that kind of rolls through that. Did you find that was mounting towards the end of the night, as far as just the fact that every lap counted for quite a bit?
Yeah, like Joey said, there was a lot of pressure, even on the first 6 minutes plus 1. I mean, everybody's fast, and the track. I thought the track was a really good racetrack this weekend. I thought the track crew was did a good job this weekend. I felt like everything was in control, and I would rather see an easier section than people crash. So I thought the track was a good racetrack, and yeah, it was really intense. Everybody was going fast, and the shorter distances, I think a lot of people got a lot of confidence from it, and it was really intense. Everybody was pushing until the very end, and it's really hard to make passes, and Joey did it the best way he could. So yeah, like I said, it was a blast racing today. That was probably the most fun I've ever had at a race, and I think that'll be something to look forward to in the future.
No, I think we're all in good shape. I don't think the fatigue necessarily played a factor in anything. The only thing that I struggled with was they were fixing parts of the track and they weren't fixing other parts. So we come around and there's nothing there, and then we fall into a rut that's pretty choppy and has been there for the night. So that was the only thing that I really struggled with, was just they were fixing certain areas of the track, and it's that heat race slippery, and it's hard to explain, but it's just got that loose soil on top, and then we come around to other parts where there's ruts and it's choppy. So it's a little bit of both, but no, for me the fatigue wasn't really. I don't think that played a factor into it.
I mean, to start off, the track, I mean, the sections were pretty basic. I saw some pictures last night, and the whoops looked big, and then we go on a track walk, and they were cut in half. I mean, I think a lot of people know that's my, my strong part is whoops, and I mean, it's fine. I made it work, but it's just little stuff like that to separate, because I feel like the times were so close, which that's good racing, but I feel like there just needs to be little things to separate and stuff like that. But as far as the 3 main events, it was fun. I didn't feel like it was a main event until that last race. The first one felt like a heat race, just like a heat race. Second one, I don't even know, just whatever. And then third one, that's when it all kind of set in. It felt like a main event. And then even the battles, like with Shane in the last lap, when he ran it in on me, it was like a full just like brawl out there. So it was fun though, just to go out there 3 times and battle with these guys.
Chris Cooksey, Motocross Addicts. This is for you, Christian. So they kept showing your heart rate up on the big screen, and it was 208. Is that something you normally hit in practice? Can you train at 208? That seems really high.
Yeah, when they asked me about this, they were like, I told them, I'm like, hey, like heads up, you're probably gonna be like, are you okay? Like, is your heart rate okay? So I'm like, hey, just a heads up, like it's gonna be over 200 probably most of the day. I don't know what it is. Like I'm in shape, I'm strong, I'm confident like that, and it's just always high. So like when I train with Chase, he's at like 140 and I'm sitting at 200, and we're both like in the same thing. So it's just everybody's different, but it's whatever. I thought it was cool for them to bring it up, and they're obviously like pretty excited about it because they kept bringing it up. But I mean, it shows that you're pushing out there. To be over 200 is tough, and then I'm right at my max the whole time. So it's cool.
That was a legit 208.
That was legit.
That's extreme.
I know. I don't know how.
That thing is humming. Dude.
This question is for Joey, Jason Wygant from Racer X. This is your first Supercross win, as you mentioned on the podium, since Vegas, which was a disappointment. Just talk about getting all the way back to the top like this and really now being in championship contention again. Yeah,
no, it's good. We haven't actually won a main event since the first round last year. So it's definitely been a while. But, at the end of the day, it's been a long road, absolutely. Things didn't end ideally, but not everything always goes according to plan. So, we fought back, and we've been digging deep and had a good off season and put in a lot of work. So for me, it's almost like a little bit of, I guess, a monkey off my back. Like it's just been so long. Yeah, and we won some outdoors, but it's different. Like to get it out of the way is nice, and I don't know, it definitely was a big relief.
Christian, what's the status on the ankle? Is it a higher ankle sprain or a low ankle sprain? Was it kind of a basketball sprain, or was it more severe?
I don't know. It was more of dirt bike sprain. No, I wasn't playing basketball. I overjumped a triple, and literally, like, my ankle just folded, and I don't know what happened. I didn't crash, but that's out of the way. That was last week. Just a little sore here and there, but nothing to get in the way. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. We're good.
Michael Antonovich with Transworld Motocross. Joey, Shane, going into next week, you guys are tied equally in points. I don't think either of you have had that exact situation. So how does that feel for you to be neck and neck this early in the season?
I had it with Cooper. They're Arizona, maybe Phoenix. I don't remember, but it's always, I guess, exciting. I mean, it's not often that it's 2 red plates, but for me, treat it the same. Come in and have an open mind. Try to learn the track and find a flow. I think that's the biggest thing, is if you can find a flow early on in the night. I think it sets you up. It puts you in a good position.
Yeah, just like Joey said. I mean, we've learned a lot over the last year, and we're ready to battle till Vegas in the championship. So I'm excited for it, and like I said, we learned a lot over last year having the red plate, and we've had a good off season. We're learning every race, and we're feeling good on the bike, and I think that's the most important thing, because when you feel good, there's really nothing can beat you down. Even tonight with a second, it's like I don't think I've ever been so pumped on a second. It's like I just had so much fun on the bike today and doing 3 races and battling with everybody. I just had a blast. So that's the goal every weekend, to race my heart out and to race these guys hard.
All right, guys, 3 races and 3 winners so far. talk about the competitiveness of this class. What's it going to take to jump out front here?
I mean, it sounds dumb, but being consistent, you got to be there every weekend. I think today, with the exception of Shane, the top 6, I think we're within 4 tenths. So it's very competitive. Man, it's just, it's going to take being there night in and night out. On a bad night, still being on the podium is going to be crucial. So that's really what we gotta work towards.
Yeah, I agree with Joey, and just like tonight, I mean, Joey was consistent throughout the night, and he won by 6 points, I believe. So it's going to be fun, and we all like to win, but I'm pretty sure we all hate to lose more. So yeah, it's going to be a deep fight, and to be consistent is the most important thing, because just one slip up can lose you 10 points, and that's hard to make up over just a short West Coast series. So I think it's going to be a blast.
I'll just say something. Yeah. These two got to win, so I think it's my turn next week. No, we're going to Glendale, which I got my first win there, and I'm excited. I mean, the class is wide open. Obviously, there's a bunch of dudes that are flying right now. A lot of them obviously are on the podium, but you just never know. So class is wide open. You literally have to bring it every Saturday night and just hang it out and hope for the best.
This is all for all three of you. Do you prefer this new format to the traditional format, or is it just kind of nice shaking it up and doing something new?
You go ahead. Nah, go ahead.
I'll go. I thought it was a good test run. I thought that it was cool just coming in. I mean, you come to race Anaheim and you don't really know how the day's going to go. You're just kind of up in the air about everything, which in my eyes is perfectly fine. I mean, you're not really overthinking anything because you have no idea. So like I said, I thought it was fun. You line up for 3 different races and you're racing the same guys. So I mean, it is tough because consistency is key in that, but at the same time, we're still racing everybody out there every single time, and it's just quick sprints. But I thought it was a good trial run for kind of being in the middle of these first 6 rounds.
I thought, I mean, for me personally, I didn't mind it. It's definitely chaotic. I think as one of these guys mentioned earlier, everyone's going for it, especially on those first 2. It's a short enough distance where you can pretty much hang it out the whole time. But for me, I struggled in that second main quite a bit, and Shane got away. And it's nice to be able to come back and kind of reevaluate and see where you were slow or where you were struggling and fix that. So I mean, that's kind of, to me, that was cool. That was something that, there's always those nights where at the end of the race, you watch the race and you're like, man, I wish I would have changed that. And the fact that we get that opportunity to kind of go over a rundown real quick and figure that out and go back out and fix it is cool. But like he said, Shane did, the track was a good racetrack. It kept everyone tight, and the racing was, in one word, chaotic.
I didn't mind the 3 mains. I think everybody at the podium tonight is going to be okay with it. But then you're going to get some guys that didn't like it either. But that's with everything. I think it was pretty cool. It felt like a Monster Cup to me, even if the times were different, the mains and all that. But, after racing Monster Cup a couple of times, it felt similar to that. So it didn't feel like out of place or anything for me. Every time I line up, it's just I'm there to race. So.